consumers who were complaining, farmers were complaining. Now, consumers' issue has been resolved. We are not complaining anymore. It is only the farmers who are complaining. So I think moving forward, the Ministry of Agriculture will now look at how to also solve the farmers' complaint so that we'll have it completely dealt with. That is how we grow a country. In trying to solve a problem, you might get a group of people complaining. I mean, if you are able to deal with half of them, then you continue till you get the entire thing resolved. So I am happy we are on track. At least, like I said, what they left for us and what we have moved the country to now is clear. And everything tells us that we are in the right direction. And the finance minister yesterday, I don't even know how to describe the budget. No wonder Afenyo Markin could not say anything than to start talking about extraneous factors or issues that had nothing to do with the budget. Okay, and I must praise the most experienced majority leader that we have in our time, the Honorable Mahama Yarga. When he started arguing or also making his point after the budget had been read, some of us said, oh, to us, we thought he should have given Afenyo Markin a direct bullet. Until he came to explain that he was not going to jump into his propaganda. He didn't want Ghanaians to talk about the good things in the budget. He wanted us to take everything out of the budget and bring in Wuntumi. And he won't go his line. And that was where I agreed with him. And this is where experience matters. If Honorable Ayarga were to be some of us, we would have been interested in replying or attacking Afenyo Markin. But he understood the game. He said, look, you can do your, your Wuntumi politics. We'll talk about the budget. But so far, I think so good. And I mean, talking about Wuntumi, it's unfortunate. Yeah, it's unfortunate. You see, as a politician, sometimes you don't always pray to have your colleague politician jailed or put behind scenes. And I remember those days when Victor Solomon, for instance, was locked up, when Chachu Chikede was jailed. Some of us were young in the political arena, but we were weeping. We never even had direct contact with them. We never enjoyed anything from them. We didn't even know them. They didn't know us. But we were weeping. Now that to talk of Wuntumi, who is almost, I mean, he's a senior brother to some of us. There's some age difference. We have seen him, we have met him, even though we don't belong to the same political party, going in for 20 years. But that is the law. What do we do? So we are not rejoicing over it, but the law must equally take its course. If you don't do that, it means that indiscipline, corruption, and other things will not be managed again. And I hope the NPP will stop saying that, who have we jailed? Who have we? You see, sometimes your mouth, these are our mouths, puts us into trouble. Huh? In my language, they say, Bulumbukanurun kuamia. What you say, what you do, okay, what you like saying. You know, remember NPP, oh, what are you going to do? Oral is dead. This is that. You can't do FOCO. I mean, the Attorney General is a media Attorney General. He likes this. He likes press conferences. All manner of things. 20 years old, not even 5 years, not even 20 years.
But is that not from an amendment that was even?
I don't have a problem. I agree. But I'm saying that... So
that's the law taking its course.
Of course. I am saying that, you see, I don't know. I don't want to believe whether they said it or not. Somebody would have been jailed. But it made us to fast track or try to push things further. Because it's like your opponent is telling you that you can't do FOCO to me.
But then if it was a fast track, if it was fast
and this is the first time.
Is this
and let me put it on record.
Yes.
I remember Dr. Ayeni sat in this same studio and said he is the first Attorney General in the Fourth Republic to have sent that number of cases to court.
Yes.
And again, he will be the first Attorney General to secure jail term for politicians within a short period. And he has done it. You can compare the records.
Doesn't that defeat the saying that the wheels of justice grind slowly?
No, so it can go. You see, they wanted to apply tactics to delay the process.
But that would allow them to do a full...
You see, ask yourself, why did the first lawyer run away and the appeal could be?
Maybe they
did it just because they wanted a new judge, a new lawyer to come in and delay the process. The new lawyer came in.
Mhm.
At a point, he said his daughter had her graduation and that he was traveling out and wrote to the judge to postpone the judgment. Even on a weekend, who does that? For what? I mean, it is to the discretion of the judge. And the judge said, yes, I have read your letter. But unfortunately, I have to continue with my judgment. And he read it out.
What
There were all tactics to delay the process.
what in all the wound to me issue that is currently going on, that he's now being sentenced. This is one of several cases that are up against him. But what does it teach our current crop of politicians? What are the moralities that we can draw from this particular
You
case?
see, Gerard, I think we all just need to be careful as whatever we do today will be accounted for in the future. I mean, it didn't start today. It started when Ghana existed. And we have had politicians, even during the Nkrumah's regime, tried and put behind bars. It has continued. President Kufuor under the Fourth Republic, Mr. Rawlings, I don't remember the democratic period, the 8 years, but I remember the PNDC period. People were tried and also jailed. But President Kufuor came and even introduced a fast-track court and got some people jailed. It continued. At least when President Mills Mahama came, I don't know, but there was no any conviction, even though the processes were going on. And the NPP rather used that and thought we were weak. They said the NDC didn't have good lawyers, one. They said we could not secure any conviction because we should always give an example
And
of
the
who we
same
have
thing when the
jailed.
NPP came.
Yes.
Though there were accusations,
Yes.
they never.
Fine. Now prosecution is going on, and when you look at the evidence being put out by the Attorney General, even though we always get responses from the opposing side or the victim, but if you look at the evidence between myself and you know that no, people didn't manage themselves well. Can you be the head of an institution and be sending money to your Momo number? I mean, be even a national service personnel yourself. It doesn't make sense. And I've heard people sought to criticize the Attorney General for always relying on some of the internal staff. Okay,
They say that the approach of the Attorney General
exempted.
in all this is not.
No, it is part of the legal gymnastics. You need evidence to prosecute somebody, the head, the top, the one who orchestrated the act. So if there are people who supported him, it's like our brother Miracle's case. The accountant has agreed that, this money there is true, we chop some, but I will pay. If that matter goes to court today and the accountant says, I'll come and be your prosecution witness, why do you want to blame him? He was part of those who chopped the money. But he says, look, I will pay. But please, I will act as prosecution witness, but leave me out. Attorney General says, no problem. The one who is denying will not have to face the...
But conniving to perpetuate crime, are you not also a criminal?
Of course, but you see, that is why... That is why even before judgment,
yes,
if you plead guilty,
yes,
your sentences are always reduced, most at times. The moment you plead guilty, accept your crime, and you appeal to the judge says, no, this man is showing remorse. And the judge will reduce your sentence. It happens everywhere. And I remember even Hajia Forel's case outside the country. Because she agreed, to even give more information about the cabal. Her sentence was just, I think, 2 or 3 years. And she's out. She's not enjoying her life. That is how it goes. So yes, you can commit a crime with a group of people. But when the chief hears of it and calls you to the palace, and you own up and say, Your Majesty, it is true that we stole the animals. But I stole the animal. This is the proceeds of the money. And I promise I won't steal again. As compared to the other colleagues who say, we never stole. I am not aware. I didn't take anything. I didn't do this. Of course, your punishment will be different from the one who owns it. That is how it works. So nobody should sit anywhere and say, the Attorney General is using some internal people. Anybody would have done it. You are dealing with a PhD Harvard trainee as an Attorney General. Somebody who is highly learned. Many of the lawyers, even in the Chamber of Parliament, are his students. I'm not saying he's the best, but he's one of the best.
Does this resurrect confidence in the oral?
Oh, of course. Even though it is not one of the main cases under the list of oral cases, no, it is not. Okay, I think this issue was being handled by a group of people, the Martin Pebbles and the rest, separately before the list of oral. So when you read the total list of oral cases, this is not part. But like you rightly said, it gives confidence that all those in court, I mean, I wonder how they will be sleeping. Because even to me, Charlie, he didn't do the galamsey himself. Oh. They say he aided, right? He gave out his concession to somebody who did galamsey. And you see, the law is clear. The minister signed up the concession to you. For you to give it to me, you need to also write to the minister and tell the minister that, oh, this concession you give me, I am giving it to Abdallah. And the minister will be aware. That wasn't done.
So that anything
very good.
Abdallah will be held responsible.
But you allow the person to do his galamsey. And the person has turned around to come and say, yes, it is true. I did galamsey on the land. But it was Wuntumu who permitted me. So by extension, you are what? Guilty.
So is that not why the NPP are saying that the sentencing was rather too harsh?
You mean the 20?
The 20.
Yeah, they had the opportunity to appeal. They said they will appeal. They said they are assembling their best of their best of lawyers. And I mean, those who already stood in for Wontumi are part of best of lawyers. I mean, you can't talk of the NPP without thinking of the attachments. You can't leave out Andrew Appiah Kubi. You can't leave out this man. It has been a long time. The one who acted as lawyer for
during
President Akufo-Addo. I've forgotten his name.
Philip
Addison. Yes, the bank of the governance.
I think
brother.
He attempted running MP on two occasions.
Yeah, but you see, that is the world for you. Let them bring their best of luck. We are there.
If you're just joining us, this is a discussion with Abdallah Salifu. Let's go back to the budget that was.
I am not
yesterday.
in any way rejoicing.
I know.
Yes.
I don't think there's anyone, because for me, you as a politician.
Rather, people think the members within the NPP are rejoicing, especially his opponents, people who.
But that would be true. If members in the opposition aren't rejoicing, why would members in the opposition?
That is why we had.
Why would their own members be rejoicing?
I understand their presidential candidate visited him yesterday, right? Yeah, I was there for yesterday.
In prison?
Yes. This time he drove in Land Cruisers, about 13 of them.
Oh, the
presidential candidate. He left the bus, drove in Land Cruisers, about 13 of them. This is his friend.
Someone sarcastically said that if Chairman Wontumi knew that one day that would have been his place of abode, he would have advocated for a more conducive rooms to be created.
As politicians, nobody, as a politician, I mean, you can never predict what will happen to you in the future. So after the prisons, people know that it is always the second home of a human being. You might not necessarily commit a crime. It could even be an accident. Then you find yourself. Okay, even the men of God, those who tell us what is good. There have been instances, few of them find their way to prison. Not because they deliberately acted, but sometimes it could just be by an accident. Can't do anything. Assuming you are cleaning your gun, your wife is with you in the bedroom, probably dressing up, and it's mistakenly fires and gets her killed. It is your word against the state. You might just end up in jail. Not because you intentionally killed your wife, but it's a mistake. You are driving, and unfortunately, probably something happened. Then you hit somebody and get the person killed. The law will take its course. So not necessarily politician, but that is why in abroad, they try to keep the prisons fine. Because they know anybody at all is capable of going there. Huh? Yes, if the prisons we're having abroad were to exist in Ghana, I tell you, some of our brothers and sisters who don't have conducive homes and cannot eat 3 square meals a day will pack and go to prison by force, because it looks very nice and you are fed for free. So I think that we must just learn from it. And the NPP should stop this threatening language. The future is pregnant. The future has always been pregnant. And the pregnancy does not disappear. It has always been pregnant.
But what does
Because
that,
you can't
what
tell.
does it mean? Who got it pregnant?
That, what I want to say is that more things might happen in the future.
Okay.
Unforeseen things.
Unforeseen things might
Exactly.
happen.
But that is what we know, and we know life is.
Mm.
I mean, the future is pregnant for myself and you. We pray for the best, but we don't know what awaits us. It's only God.
But why is it that that statement only comes up when it's
That is
in
it.
line with the political?
That is why I'm saying that it's just made to probably threaten Huna people. But who cares? My friend will tell you who cares if a monkey runs diarrhea. The law is the law.
Someone said that they used to say that, oh, if you are not convinced, let's go to court.
Court. Now they have left that one and they are talking about the future being pregnant.
But they described the budget as a Koscielko budget, the minority caucus.
I look, the first time we heard of this Koscielko budget, it was my uncle Moses Saga who described years back. Yes, and I said good morning to him. You know, everybody has his time. You remember the time of Honorable Moses Saga?
Yeah.
Deputy Finance Minister,
the first
chairman of the Finance Committee in Parliament when we were in opposition. If he stood up to speak, everybody was quiet. And I like Upper East for one thing. We have always produced some of the best. Yes, especially in Parliament and out of Parliament, in government. It is the NPP I'm yet to see many of them, especially coming from the region. Probably because they don't.
Yeah, because they don't.
They are not many. You know, they don't get to groom many people. But when you take the current MPs in Parliament, I was telling who? I was telling somebody, a friend of mine at the presidency. We're talking, and I said, look, President Mahama can get a whole cabinet from the Upper East region. Almost everybody who matters to be a cabinet minister exists in the Upper East region. And you can check, profile all of them. And even look at what they are doing in Parliament and out of Parliament. It tells you that we have we have a group of intelligent MPs. What we need to do is just to encourage them so that we can get the best out of them. And this is the time. When I say this is the time, I mean this is the time. Because this is the time our voices are heard. This is the time many of our MPs are given responsibilities in Parliament and out of Parliament. Only few of them are not either ranking or deputy, even in Parliament. Sorry, chairman or deputy, even in Parliament. Yeah. But some of them serve in other. So this is the time that we have to do whatever we can do to bring something. And I'm happy that something is, started trickling last year and it will continue to trickle. Just that we have to encourage them to do more. It's like your child going to score 10th position. So you've done well, but please try and get me a single digit next time. And that is it. That's an encouragement. Okay. So after being a Koscielko budget, we have heard that description years back. Dr. Amina Adams should go and look for a different description for the mid-year budget. But Gerard, this budget is one of the best. Not because it is coming from Dr. Tuforson.
But then what makes it one of the best?
And I have always said, Gerard, that look, one good thing about managing your finances is all about discipline. The most cardinal thing in managing yourself and your finances is discipline. And the way you manage your house, the way you manage your business is the same way you must manage Ghana's resources. If you have this at the back of your mind, you will succeed. Others came and made useless of whatever was given to them. And you agree with me. I mean, we had the immediate past finance minister who grounded the entire country. We became debt-ridden. We couldn't even borrow from our neighboring countries. Burkina, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, even if they had money, they were afraid to borrow us. Because we said we could not pay. The whole Ghana that produces gold, Ghana that produces cocoa, second largest in terms of cocoa, right? And gold, I think we are third or fourth, the whole world. Hey, and we can't even pay our debts. That was the situation. It's like working, your wife is working, and you can't pay your children's school fees. How do you want people to see you? Useless? Probably that would be the best description. And that is the way we found ourselves. And that is how we saw ourselves. And in fact, it isn't that we saw ourselves. That is the way it was under the NPP. So Gerard, I say one of the best because, we've had several budgets. But this budget, hey, go and check. when you go to the releases alone,
Mm.
that is something that gladdens my heart. But before I get there, you see, the finance minister yesterday spoke about the overall GDP growth being 4.8%. He spoke about non-oil growth. You remember those days? If you wanted to know how the country was actually growing, you take out the oil and look at the rest of the factors. Non-oil growth 4.9%. An improvement from the previous years. That tells us that we are on the right path. End of year inflation, 8 plus 2 minus 1. It tells us that he's hoping to end the year between 4 to 5%. Okay. And then primary surplus. When we talk of primary surplus, I'm not a student of economics, but I learned your income, your revenues, whatever you get as a country, as against your expenditure, the difference you see. So let's say we all have our domestic homes we manage. We have our salary. So at the end of the month, you are able to pay your utilities, pay your children's school fees, feed the family, do everything. Your salary is 2,000 and you are left with 100 cedis. That you can call it surplus. So that is it. We are able to pay. We did everything and it amounted to 1.5%. That is not small money. That's the money. And the finance minister says, oh, I won't spend when I don't have.
But is that not what is giving him this challenges with some of the ministries?
No.
Where there are accusations that the finance minister is tightly holding on to the funds and allowing them to struggle in their operationalities.
Gerard, he gave a breakdown of sectorial releases or probably cash sent or spent, monies given to them. And I just want to get that page. And you see, the interesting thing is that when you do a budget, for instance, let's even take the agric ministry. Do we do farming all the time? No. So there's a season for it. There's also a time where we do Farmers' Day, right? Towards December. It comes once every year. So when you present your budget and Farmers' Day is towards November, December, you don't release money for Farmers' Day in January. So Gerard, understand. Probably you have other activities that you want to undertake in January. So the finance minister, knowing very well that even Ghana's revenue trickles in small, every month, he will release what you need in January, but he won't give you the November, December one, which is Farmers' Day money. For what? So if you are sitting there, if you are sitting there, you are expecting that he'll give you everything. It doesn't work that way because the man himself did not get everything. He wants to get everything close to the end of the year. Don't forget, everything is done on projections. You expect to get this amount of revenue. You said, oh, this is what you want to do. So when you go with your budget, they look at it, what they are expecting against what you have brought. They consolidate everything together. And then that is why sometimes they have to cut your budget. They tell you, oh, we can't give you 2 billion. Go and work around 1.5 billion. So you have to go back, sit with your senior members of your ministry, and you say where you can adjust to arrive at the 1.5, and you bring it back to the finance minister. He accepts it. But he knows very well that the releases is not supposed to be done once. Everybody knows that. So as and when you need money, you get. World Cup recently.
Yeah.
Why? When they were going for the World Cup, what happened? The minister for finance had to immediately release money to the Minister of Youth and Sports. Because it was an event. It had a timeline. Did you hear them complain of money? No. So if anybody says the finance minister is not releasing, it's not true. But like he explained, that I won't give what I don't have. If I do that, I'll have a budget overrun. And that is what leads to huge budget deficits. And sometimes, because you are spending what you don't have, and it will bring you problems.
Is this the definition of the prudent management?
Of course, I spoke about discipline. And you must, everybody, not only in government, everybody must be disciplined with how he spends his money. And you know that as a government worker, if you are not disciplined, I tell you by 15 you'll be poor. It's the same thing when you go into government. I remember, Metro TV used to play the Nigerian man's statement. There are people who have chopped current money and they have chopped future money. You understand? So don't be part of the ministers who will come and chop the future money. Not at all. But look, everything points to the fact that the finance minister is actually on top of his game. And let me give you some of the micro figures. You see, when you look at GDP growth, NPP NDC 2024 as against 2026, we are talking of 5.8%. We are doing 6.4%. That is not small. Okay. We are talking of inflation. They left it at 23.8%. Currently, it is 5.3%. And the minister says, look, his main target is to bring it down to either 4 or 3 before the close of year. We are talking about public debt. The public debt, for instance, has reduced drastically from public debt. It has reduced drastically from 61.8% to 45%. And Gerard, the president indicated in in Volta region, where he went for his reset agenda tour. Yeah. He said for the first time in his government, we're going to borrow almost $1 billion. 500 of it goes to road ministry, 300 goes to education. And he explained, we'll come to the education and what the money will be used for. And he said it was the first time, and I agreed. And when the NPP came into government, within three months, you remember the Franklin Templeton bond, the one my MP, Honorable Adongo, took to court. They were in a hurry. They couldn't even sleep overnight. They were rushing to go and borrow. 1.5 years. This is the time we have even muted the idea of going to borrow. And we are giving it, bringing the money for specific activities, not for consumption. We are not borrowing to support the budget. No, we are not borrowing to pay salaries. For those ones, we can deal with it internally. And we are not also borrowing because we want to stabilize the currency. How about the currency stabilization through Gold Board that is being done? No fears. We are doing it like no other business. And I said, look, we have always found antidote to some of our historic problems. I describe them that way because even President Kufuor's era, you remember the petrol and the fuel politics. Yes, right. You remember the politics? Anytime before budget will be read, everybody was glued. Shops were closed. People were waiting to hear what will be in the budget before they open to sell. To the extent that, we were blaming each other for the hikes of fuel prices. No, this is, everybody knows it's an automatic adjustment. The factors are clear. Even the children in the primary school, they know that when international price of crude goes up, ours will also go up.
It was the same even before you came into.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. That era is gone. We found a solution.
Right.
What was still hunting us had to do with the exchange rate. And previous government, until President Mahama came, even with President Mahama's first term, he used to also borrow to stabilize our currency. But we have found an antidote, which is Gold Board.
Gold.
Simple.
Is that giving credit to Dr. Bawumia for?
How can you give credit to somebody?
Gold for oil
how can you give credit to somebody? You are talking of gold for oil when the exchange rate was still, is it 17 or 15 cedis?
But at least at the time the gold for oil came in, it did stabilize
before
the
gold
cedi.
For oil.
It did stabilize the cedi before
oil,
the NDC.
We left it at 4.2. 4 cedi, 20 pesos.
Agreed.
He came as an economic maestro.
There was a hike.
I'm not running away. No, but you must understand. I want to say that it was never.
But is there no
Gold Board is completely different from gold for oil. Oil.
Is that not where the idea stems from?
No, their target was just to sell gold and buy oil.
And that's why because at the time the crude was what was driving the economy.
But it still drives the economy. But it is not only crude. How about the importers? People who bring in rice, gas, even whatever we are enjoying today at a lower rate. You know what it is now, Gerard. Even the rose, butumi, that we export, they were all factored in. Because if your exchange rate is beyond 12 cedis, let me simply put it that way, you are in trouble. You see that since we came, we have been managing it between 12
Mm.
and 11
12,
maximum.
11, 12.
Exactly, stability. Traders are able to predict. They know what is going on. No matter what I do, if I bring these goods at this rate, before the close of year, it won't go up. And they are enjoying from it. So I'm saying that we have found an antidote, which is Gold Board. Gold Board operation is different from their so-called gold for oil. They didn't have an act, nothing. It was not operating under law. I don't even know what they were doing with it. But specifically, their target was to sell gold, support the oil industry for them to bring in cheaper product. That's just all. But with Gold Board, their mandate is to bring in no forex for Bank of Ghana, not specifically oil, meaning any other importer stands an opportunity of getting the dollars at a lower rate. Look, it can even go down further. But government is also looking at balancing the situation because don't forget we also export. So if you are thinking of those who bring in, how about those who sell out? If you don't take time, you rather collapse them. So that is why it is at where it is.
Right.
But what I want to say is that Gold Board has come to provide an antidote for our exchange rate. Moving forward, I don't see any other governments coming to still have issues with exchange rate. Seriously. Unless they decide to throw away Gold Board, which I doubt. Okay, because the gold we get from the artisanal sector or the small scale miners, and now Bank of Ghana now even say they are buying 30% of the large scale miners' gold in order to beef up our reserves. That is a good thing. So Gold Board has come, the economy is stable, and things are working. That is one thing this finance minister has done with the president and with other members that the NPP never did. That we must recommend and probably praise the minister and the government for it. We are talking about interest rates, especially T-bills.
Is there no room to appreciate the previous government for laying a probable foundation
Master, I didn't see any
for the
foundation.
achievement?
I said that foundation, if you want to argue further, was specifically for oil. And even with that, what was the exchange rate? Gerard, what was the exchange rate? You just understand this one. It is not a matter of giving them some small credit.
Give them smaller.
To do what?
To also run down and say that this or you started this what we did. What we started is what you
what
built
they did
on.
was completely different from what we did.
But in all that,
they can argue that they were doing something similar.
They were reserving.
They can argue that they were doing something that looked similar. They can argue on that, but it is not the same, and it is not also what we build on.
Which helped to reserve gold. There was some form of gold reserve, something that you are also doing, continuing now, or are we not continuing?
No, we are not.
We are not.
It's a different thing.
The gold reservation.
Oh, Gerard, I said the Gold Board Act is clear. It was passed last year. It has since been working.
Right.
And then their main mandate is to make sure that they provide enough foreign reserves for Bank of Ghana. Right. That is just all.
There are one critical thing that also affects us. It has to do with debt, both domestic debt and foreign debt, which he touched on. And could you walk us through a bit of how debt management has helped this country through the prudent fund?
I like the position of the fund. You know, the sinking fund, he said we have forgotten the figure when I get there. But he's putting some huge amount of money this year in the sinking fund towards next year. But the amount we are supposed to pay for next year is 111 billion. That's why he said this is the real agenda 111. You remember that statement yesterday? 111.1 billion. That is what we are supposed to pay next year as debt repayment. Monies that we are supposed to generate to service debt we owe. And I'm happy for one thing, that since we came, we have not defaulted in paying our debt. No, not at all. We had an opportunity of going back to our creditors to tell them that, we are just a new government, just like any other government have always done. Give us some breathing space or probably reprofile our debt for us. Those things, they do it most of the times. But this minister said, no, let's go according to plan. So people who said he's tightening up the system, no, because no matter what, he has to reserve some small money to pay debts that are matured. And next year, we are doing 111.1 billion. And he has to look for money. Look at the energy sector debt being cleared. Look at all the inherited, the Euro bonds, and recently he paid. Okay, and it's making provisions for it. What I want to say is that Ghana's debt situation, we wish it would never owed. But there's no country in this world that doesn't owe. Not even the United States and China as a country.
Yeah.
They equally owe. But most of them, they do it domestically. And that is what we are now drifting to. So it's all that the finance minister said, even with our domestic bonds, we have now introduced, or the banks have now agreed to extend to us long-term bonds, no more short terms. Because if you don't have confidence in the economy, if you don't have confidence in the government, you will be afraid to extend your bond period to long-term bonds. But now they are doing long-term bonds. It tells you that there's so much confidence in the economy. Borrowing internally, no problem. And look, the fiscal space we have now, 45%. If the NPP had this fiscal space, hey, Gerard, and it were to be Ken Ofodata, you would have been settling here and the United States or Europe like here to Swine, looking for money. Okay, we are talking of 45%. We have the space to borrow. President Mahama says, no, I am going to leave this country and leave you with an unprecedented record in the area of economy and agriculture. And especially infrastructure as well. He's going to make sure that that is his focus. And he is strict. He is trying to make sure that he stays by his words. So 45%, the only thing we are borrowing for this year is around 1 billion. And what are we borrowing it for? 300 million for education, 500 for schools. And then with the education, Gerard, you know that we are still dealing with this issue of double track issues. My daughter is in Archbishop Porters in Takoradi. She's a double track student. I took her there, I think 3 weeks ago. Okay. And you take them to school, less than 3 months, they are back. When she comes back, we have to organize. So I have really been praying, and the smaller ones are there. So I don't want the double track system to catch up with them. So I'm praying that this thing is completely eradicated. And I'm happy government have decided to take a very bold step.
But that was one of the campaign messages of the NDC.
So I heard the NPP say, it is not clear that we can't use domestic revenue to deal with double track. We are going to borrow. I say, you nonsense. Excuse my language, but that's nonsense talk. You have built your house. You are left with roofing. Major one. The rains are coming. Where you are is leaking. Listen, urgent requirement. And you can go and borrow. You say, I won't borrow to roof the house. So you want water to come and carry you and your children away. What kind of mentality is this? And when I borrow, I can still feed my family. And you say I shouldn't go and borrow.
But abolishing the double track, is it something that is supposed to be done in a haste? Can't government do it?
Because we have not done it in a haste. We have not treated it as an urgent matter. That is why for almost 10 years, since the introduction of the free senior high school policy, we are still dealing with double. Almost 10 years. We are still struggling as to how we can do. So you must always have leaders who take a bold step and kill the issue once and for all.
But doesn't the double track give more room for the admission of students?
Oh, it will, because we are building 10 more senior high school. 10, fresh, from scratch. I sit with Roberts, brand new.
Abdullah.
Yeah. Roberts, kind. When you go there sharp, everything is 10. Even if every school is going to absorb 400 students, or even 300, 3 by 10 gives you how much? 3,000. That alone will reduce the load. And then the finance minister says, the finance minister says, we are going to habilitate 150 existing schools. And our schools here within the region. Many of them are captured, especially, there are some of them with buildings that are, that are dangerous to even stay in. Yes, so many of them have been captured. Apart from the Get Farm projects we brought that have taken all artisans away. These days, if you are looking for a mason, you are in trouble. And these days, the mason, because they know they are scarce, they will charge you 250 to 300 a day by day. They used to take 150, 180. But because these days they are scarce, all the contractors have carried them away. You go to the quarry site with all the 4 quarries we have. If you want chippings, you have to queue for like 4 days.
I was told that it takes time.
Yes,
you have to
queue for more than 4 days.
You have to queue in advance.
Yes, that I'm telling you is because of. So when the MPP said, "Oh, the economy is not moving, things are difficult," and people are, I said,
Abdallah, I've been interested about this free senior high school, the abolition of the double track.
Yeah.
What is the main? Can't we rather work on the system to have that stream properly managed, such that, because if you go to Europe, yes, we'll still have the double track, because these 150 schools that are going to be rehabilitated, the new senior high schools that are going to be built, would not absorb the mindset of parents that, look, there are specific schools that we want our children to go, and those schools will always have a burden. So the double track reduces the burden.
Like you said, those schools are there.
And they ran a 2-semester program.
Even with the universities,
yes,
we know the best are the Harvards and the rest.
Yes.
Even in the Europe,
and they have the January window. They have the.
I'm saying that they have the. They even have the Saito University. They have the Saito schools.
All of them.
Even though they are in Europe, they are the best. When we are here, we see them as the best.
So they have the September intake. They have the January intake.
I agree. Gerard,
so why can't we fix our
probably our system is not matured to manage that system yet. And like you said, it could also be because of the mentality. And the apportioning, like you said, you spoke about management, the apportioning of months, so that nobody goes and he has to do 4 months, another one will go 1 month, he's back and have to go another again, that kind of thing. Nonetheless, I think for now, let's still run with the old system. Let's see how we can improve on it. Even if we wanted to still manage double track, we still needed to build more senior high schools. Because you have started managing a family. I have a family. My brother here also has a family. It's our sister I don't know of. So 4 or 5 years to come, our children will be in what? Senior high schools. They'll be in senior high schools. And where will the space be? So I am happy as part of the budget, especially with the $300 million, we are upgrading 30 Category C schools to Category B. And we are also upgrading 20 Category B schools to Category A. Big Boss is Category what? B.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a Category A school.
A school, okay.
Big Boss, Navasco.
Are you sure?
Yes, Big Boss, Navasco.
Not B.
They are Category A schools.
Oh, that's fine. Yes. I stand to be corrected.
And Boggies.
That's okay. Yes. So the Category A school, B schools are which ones? So they will be upgraded to Category A.
Yes.
And the Category C will be upgraded to Category what? B. I mean, when we talk of upgradement, we are talking of building more infrastructure and making the environment so conducive for it to be graded, to be upgraded to that level or to be considered as a Category B school. So you go to Sidgu Senior High. I don't know the level at which it is, but granted it is C. And they are now upgrading it to B. Recently I was there, they were complaining about their, KVIP for the students and other things. Whatever we need to do or government needs to do to upgrade it to a Category B school, all those infrastructures will be built. 300 million. And then
your friend and brother from the other side,
Peter. Peter is back. He won't rest.
Peter says he cannot rest till he makes an input into this conversation. Peter, a very good morning to you. Thanks for joining the discussion.
Good morning, General. You can't incite myself and my brother. Brother, you can't knock our heads this morning.
You are the one who wants to join the conversation now, Peter.
Oh, really? Really?
How are you doing?
Right, that's fine.
How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. Yourself?
I'm doing. It's good to hear your voice in a long time.
Thank you very much. I was there, I think, on Wednesday.
Yes. I observed.
Wednesday. This morning, I spoke to Boga FM. Good morning to my brother Abdallah.
Let's listen to you. Yes, he's listening.
Yes. Section 28 of the Public Financial Management Act, 2016 Act 921, gives the finance minister the mandate to come to Parliament, come here to apprise the people's representatives about what they have done in the course of half the year, because they have presented a budget for the year. So they would want to give us what they have done, what is left, what they intend to do. It gives them the leverage and opportunity to cut and paste as well. I realized that they will cut and paste somewhere yesterday. For example, the buses that
you say cut and paste?
Yeah, cut and paste.
Really?
You know, he told us that he was not going to ask for more money.
Yes.
Didn't he say that?
Yes.
The revenue estimated was about 267 billion Ghana cedis.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't ask for. But there are additional things he wants to do. Example is the buses that he wants to acquire for STC and the Metro Mass. And he's designating 400 million Ghana cedis for that purpose. Where is that one coming from? Is he asking for new money? So it means that some other expenditure heading is going to be waived. It's going to cut from that place, going to delete something, be able to in that of the bus. That's what I mean by cut and paste. And that is exactly what he did. So for me, the bigger thing about all these things they are talking about has to do with the revenue mobilization, the ability to mobilize revenue. And this government has no track record of being able to mobilize revenue. For example, in 2025, they missed their revenue target. The ordinary revenue that they were expecting, they missed it by about 3%. Even the oil revenue, they missed it for about 4.5%, 2025. That tells you that 2026, they may not be able to achieve their revenue target. And yesterday, the minister shied away from mentioning the precise figures because half year, they've not been able to meet their revenue target. So all these things Abdallah is mentioning and talking about, how are they going to do them if they are not able to raise the necessary revenue they need to be able to do them? He said, Abdallah said that they cleared the energy sector debt. Really? Did Abdallah really say that?
Mm-hmm.
That they cleared the revenue, the energy sector debt? That is possible lie. It's not true. You made payment. You did not clear. The energy sector debt is not 1.4 billion.
But I said we are paying.
In the budget, you say, no, hold on. After you are sitting there, when I'm done, you can talk. After you are sitting there, when I'm done, you can talk because I'm also on another network. When we are presenting the 2026 budget, we said that we had made payment of about $1.4 billion dollars for the energy sector. And then you tax us to pay 1 cedi per liter for that purpose, which we willingly accepted and we are doing. Look, the IMF has projected that by the close of this year, the energy sector is going to balloon to $9 billion. $9 billion. So how can you tell me that you have cleared the energy sector debt? Go and check. We have not cleared the energy sector debt. We have made payment, but we have not cleared. So if we say that you have cleared, that is not right.
So
look,
let me come to
Abdallah, we're in the farming season. Please, we're in the farming season. You promised to open and establish farmer service centers in all the 15 districts in this region. If you mention any single district that have created the farmer service center, where they have brought the fertilizer, they have brought the food, they have brought the equipment, they have brought the tractors to come and plow for the farmers. Where have they done that? 2 years down your regime, they have not done that. So farmers are complaining about cost of fertilizer. Farmers are complaining about cost of fertilizer.
They are not up to 2 years in government.
Unable to expand, are unable to go to farm. Many people are dropping their farms because those who farm 100 acres, 50 acres are either reducing or refusing to go because they have old stock in place and nobody's buying. Government claimed they were giving 2 billion Ghana cedis for them to mobilize and buy the stock. Where have they come to Upper East Region to buy? Go to Fombisa and see. There are people who still have large stocks of grains unattended to. So the farmer is demotivated. They are not encouraged. They are not in the high spirit like they used to be to farm. Somewhere 2023, 2024, around the same time, this same farming season, yes, you would see that tractors load of fertilizers were dropping at the various assemblies for farmers. This year, have you seen some? Have you seen some this year? Nothing. So this government is not being serious and not being frank with us. They are simply deceiving us, telling us, cutting and pasting and telling they are going to do A, they are going to do B. So the schools he's talking about, they are going to build schools. Which government has come and has not built schools? Which government has come and has not expanded education infrastructure?
He says tier rubber, and the Upper East region is going to get one of those tier rubber schools.
Is that what we really need at a region?
You don't need it.
Is that what we need? We want the expansion of the existing schools. It's the expansion of the existing schools that we want, and not building new schools. Have you completed the other schools, the E blocks that were left? You have not completed them. And you are in a haste to go and open a new school. Go and build one first school in this region.
So
we have 15 assemblies. We have 15 assemblies. We have over 100 schools or 39 secondary schools in this region. They go and put one Pasla rubber school somewhere. I think that you have achieved something. What is that you have achieved?
Now, you are Peter. Let me come here. You are in the field, the education sector, and then the argument here is that in anticipation to see to the cessation of the double track system, the construction of these new schools, the rehabilitation of facilities in existing schools may go a long way to help this particular agenda of the government. What is your opinion on this?
Maybe you might have to take your cameras and go out and ask educational authorities in this region. How many schools are practicing double track now?
I think in the Upper East region we don't have a single school ticket.
So what is he talking about? So what are they talking about? Most of the schools are in transition. Some of the schools are single track. A few that are left in transition schools. So what is he talking about here? What is he talking about? That he's fortunate his child is at Pope John or where. He's fortunate because they are the big men. My son is within the local school in this region. So the kind of things he's talking about, it's not a non-starter.
But Peter,
it's good to expand.
Yes.
It's good to expand infrastructure in the existing schools. Build more science laboratories. Build more teachers' bungalows. Build more home science laboratories. Build more dormitories. Finish the schools with the needed infrastructure they need, and not about building new schools. For me, it doesn't add up anything to build up a single school when other schools are sitting under trees. When they do not have dining halls. Go to Zoko, for example, they do not have a dining hall. Sometimes they stand on the heating stand to take meals. That is what we should do, and not to go and say we are building a brand new school, Pastor. So what? So what?
Let's talk about
double track.
Yes.
Many institutions are in transition. There are no many double track schools again. So maybe they have to do their research again. They have not gotten to the professionals, the technocrats to give them that advice. So sometimes they say things that do not really exist.
Right. As part of our discussion, we sought to look at the prudent, the financial discipline that is being carried out by the current finance minister. And Abdallah applauds the finance minister for the way he's disciplined with the financial expenditure of the state, which he believes has been able to help the country manage its both public, domestic and external debts. But there are some of the state-owned institutions that are complaining on how the finance minister is holding tight to the release of funds. Do we say that the prudent financial management means withholding the release of funds to some of these organizations? And how do you assess the finance minister release of funds?
Yeah, you have answered the question for me, and you have answered the question for your listeners. Because if you are a single man, somebody who doesn't want to give out and say you are managing, that means you are micro-managing the economy.
Are you describing the finance minister as a stingy man then?
Oh, but that's what the Agric minister told us, because they claim they have released 1.6 billion for the Minister of Agric. The deputy minister and the aide came and told us that it was about 900 million. And even what has actually hit the account is less than 600 million. So what is he talking about?
But there is
you hold on and you don't want to spend. You hold on, you don't want to spend, and you claim that you are managing. That is not management. They are postponing the debt. They are simply postponing the debt. Go to secondary schools and see supplies that were made in November, December. They have not paid them. They have not paid them. So if you have not paid them and you claim that you are managing the economy, that is not right. They claim the stability. Yes, there's somewhat stability. Somewhat, I call it, somewhat stability. but it has not propelled growth.
Can you help my listeners understand the somewhat stability? How do you arrive at the somewhat?
The stability is like self-made stability. Like self-made stability. Because if you go to buy illegal gold, you encourage people to do illegal gold, and they bring the gold, you buy their gold, you pump that into the system, you claim that's how you are managing the economy. When you have Bank of Ghana pumping dollars, millions of dollars into the economy, when we say no, we have not done that. IMF came and told you that you're actually pumping dollars into the economy. Is that how we manage the economy?
But then,
is that how we manage the economy? If you do that, then everybody can manage that economy. Everybody can manage that economy. It's about pumping dollars into the economy.
Abdallah argues that the gold board and the gold reserves is what is giving the stability to the exchange rates, the dollars.
Gold board gold reserve. How many ounces do we leave for them? How many have they added? Even the gold that they sell and make losses. Is that what they are talking about? The gold that they sell and they make losses. Now, the losses are sitting on the books of the Bank of Ghana. At a point, they were complaining as to whether they should sit in the Bank of Ghana records or they should record them with gold board. Remember, just this week, the government said that they are no longer going to pre-finance the activities of gold board. Haven't you read that? Haven't you read that? So the chickens are coming home to roost because the truth is dawning on them. If you try to distinguish, not releasing resources and trying to manufacture and have those things on paper, the reality will dawn on you. Because, look, inflation, they say, is what? It's 5, June, the record was 5.4%. Even when inflation was 23.4% in 2024, how much was a bag of pure water? How much was a sachet of pure water? Today, inflation is 5%, yet water has gone up. Many things have gone up. Go and check oil you use to service your motor. When inflation was 23%, a bottle was about 60 cedis. Today, inflation is 5%, yet a 10 bottle of gallon of oil is shooting over 100 cedis. So why the attainment of the inflation? What is it? So I think these people, they have gotten a field day because they are still enjoying the support of the Ghanaian people. So they are taking things for granted.
But it's not the responsibility of the opposition to draw the attention of the Ghanaian people to some of these lapses and these potholes.
Exactly what I'm doing this morning, Gerald. That is why I'm grateful to you people for giving me the platform to respond to them and to set the record straight, to point to them the things that have gone wrong. That is what they are doing. Go to education offices and see when was the last time they got to release it. Education office, go and ask them. Carry your camera. You are with education. Ask them. When was the last time they gave them releases? Some institutions, government institutions, are suffering. They are being stuffed and they are suffering. Just that they cannot talk. They simply cannot talk. They told us they were going to employ 50,000 teachers this year. Have they employed 50,000? Have they employed 50,000? Don't know what the minister told us. Only for them to beat the drum, to retreat, and now say they are employing 7,000. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. So for me, when these people say, wait here, you better leave that place and go and sit at another place. Otherwise, they will never return to you. That's why Baba Jama told the one is blasted his wife. That's precisely the kind of management they are doing in our system. Look, our Abdallah, the Kolan Bridge, the Kolan Fire Service, you told us that you had tableted that portion alone for Arako to do. It's about 5 months now. What has happened? This morning after the show, go and pass and see the nature of that place. Go and take a record of how many people have died on that stretch alone. That stretch alone. You told us we are doing 10 kilometers road across the district. How many have you done so far? After how many have you done so far? In Mount District, I've not seen even 1 kilometer. Mount District, I've not seen even 1 kilometer of such roads. So these people, when they say it's black, no, be well assured that it's not black. And they say, sit at A1 radio, wait for them. Come to Dreams, because that's where you may get them.
We are very grateful for joining us this morning, Peter. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
It's unfortunate. I'm pleased for time because I'm entering for another program in another sister radio station.
That's fine.
Now you can make time for Abdel and I.
That's
to
fine.
debate this budget.
Definitely. Definitely. It's been a long time we had the two of you sit. Yes, it's been a while we had the two of you in studio. So
Bring him.
all right, so that was Peter Ayembesa, communications director, regional communications director, and he's putting another bid again to be considered.
Oh, that's fine.
That
I mean, that's okay.
Yes,
yes. I think the first one he was appointed, so this one he now wants to be elected, and I wish him all the best. You know, the first one he was appointed,
and now he's going into
he
a
wants
contest.
to be elected.
Yes,
So,
he has to come to you for some
tutorials. He doesn't want free things. You know, the one they gave him was free. Anyway, I wish him all the best. But you see, Gerard, he's calling for a debate. And for me, I think we can even do it this evening if he wants. I'm always well prepared for any day, any time. But Peter says we should rather expand existing schools. We have done that. I mean, we are doing that. Gerard, get fund alone in this region, unprecedented. Peter and his government just left office. Peter, where he is now, Azenamo, we have given them two infrastructure blocks. Azenamo. There is no single, for what I know, school in the Upper East region that have not had blocks. I mean, additional infrastructure. We are doing it even through Get Fund. And that is not all. These 300 million, 150 schools, existing schools, are going to be expanded. They are going to be given more infrastructure. That is why we are talking of upgrading category B to A, upgrading C to B, and upgrading the rest to C. That is what I want to do. So if you say, no, we shouldn't build new ones. If Azenamo was not built new, I'm talking, you know, it has been built not quite long.
Yeah.
I tell you that he wouldn't have been there today as a staff of GES. So we need to build. So he says we shouldn't build 10, we will build. And Upper East is getting one out of the 10 regions that will benefit from these 10 schools. You know, we are 16 regions. Upper East is getting one. And I know the district that is getting this school would completely disagree with Peter. But you see, Gerard, do you know that if these new schools are built and the infrastructure expanded, in total, GES says we are likely to have about 2.3 million students gain admission, or 2.3 million students are going to occupy these new blocks and new schools that are going to be built. And are you aware that 100,000 teachers will have to be employed to man those schools? Are we not creating jobs? Are jobs not going to be created? And this is teachers who, this is minus the non-teaching staff. So Peter, I beg you, this is not MPP. We are talking of a government. And it says we still have a goodwill with the people. Why come after 1 year, we still have that goodwill? It means that all that they are doing as a political party, people don't value them. That is why they still have faith with us. And if he knows it, then he should stop talking. Because it's like you are complaining, they are not listening to you, and they still have faith with us.
But wouldn't it be more worrying to you if you don't receive critics drawing your attention to what is not being done right?
No. We don't have a problem with that. As for criticizing us, nobody has a problem with that, and we welcome it. But you see, Gerard, farmer service centers. He said we are done 2 years. No, we are yet to do 2 years. But even with that, the finance minister made it clear that he has deposited about 551 million into an escrow account at the Bank of Ghana for the procurement of the equipment that we need to set up, we need to use to set up these farmer service centers. Upper East region, we are getting 5 as part of the first batch. 5. Procurement is ongoing, and that includes tractors, trailers.
Is that a farmer service center?
Exactly.
Right.
So you see,
you
see, Gerard, we were given a mandate of 4 years, not 1 year.
So there was no specification to when the farmer service
exactly.
center
And you see, you must understand something. When you come into government, one, the first year is always for you to understudy and reset yourself. The second year is where you begin to actually implement major of the main policies. There are no mere procurements like buying sanitary pads, where you can get some local factories in Accra to produce a sanitary pad and that goes. We are talking about procuring tractors, hundreds of them, and their trailers, combine harvesters, and the rest. So this is not something that Peter and Co. Why? It could be done that easy in 8 years. They left. How many tractors did they buy for farmers? How many service centers did they establish? So they shouldn't be in a haste. He's telling us that 2 years. Oh, why? Is he already counting the days of Chamahun to me or what? Is he already counting to know how many days Chamahun to me is left to come out? But that shouldn't be the issue. We haven't done 2 years, and that is a fact.
You mentioned earlier about jobs.
Yes.
Do you think that this media...
I'll come to that. I beg you.
Right.
And then he said, we are pumping dollars. Oh, I am happy, Gerard, that we have the dollars and we are pumping.
That Bank of Ghana is pumping
dollars into the
system.
That's what I'm saying. We are happy that we have the dollars and we are pumping. You know, you don't pump what you don't have. Peter, how much dollars did you pump into the system? You didn't even have dollars. Even the president to travel out at times, looking for dollars to travel out was a problem. That is why our exchange rate had to go that high, because dollars was scarce. And then the only way they could bring in dollars was to go and borrow. International market was closed. Where do you borrow? Even Cote d'Ivoire, you couldn't borrow. Burkina Faso, you could not go there to beg. So that is why they suffered. He should ask himself, he said, we are pumping so much dollars. Where are we getting the dollars from? And he goes around to say, oh, we are buying gold from Galamsey. Nobody knows of that. But anyway, Gerard, I have always said this. Galamsey existed years back. Everybody agrees with that. So if there was anything called Galamsey gold, and it was smuggled out of this country, and it was not of any use to us, and today somebody is even converting that Galamsey gold to make us better, who has done better? Simple question. I hope you understand. Who has done better? You are quick to say, oh, Galamsey economy. Hey, Peter, you didn't even have dollars. So we have it in excess. And now you say we are pumping. Yes, we agree we are pumping dollars. But the dollars we are now pumping, we haven't gone to borrow. It is dollars we have generated out of our gold. The gold that belongs to myself and you, Ghana's gold. Which used to be taken out by the Indians for free, by the Chinese for free. Now we kept all those things and the gold is remaining with Ghana government. If you are taking it out, you pay the necessary taxes. And that is what we are using to develop the country. He said, oh, Polar Bridge. That bridge, I don't want to say much. But what I know is that the MP, Dr. Ayena, has personally taken up the bridge to just start that small portion. Because it used to be under, it is part of the project, the Gaval project. So anytime you wanted to do any major work on it, then you hear highways and the contractor say, oh, leave it for us, it's part of, but no, we have seen that it is creating a lot of problems. And the last time I had a conversation with the MP, actually, he's raising his own money to make sure that that small stretch is done. And I know Dr. Ayena for one thing, if he says he's going to do it himself, he does it without any fear. And he makes sure that he gets the money. But Gerard, I know there's no time. You see, when you look at the releases that went to, the various sectors, that should tell you whether the finance minister is spending. He said the finance minister is stingy. Your minister wasn't stingy. He borrowed and came and you all ran to Accra and ate wachi with him. He borrowed and came, you ran to Accra and eat a cake with him. Where did the economy put us? Wherever you went and borrowed, he will come. And then they will, Ghana, we have seen things. Yesterday, when I saw Dr. Tuforsin going to Parliament with just his policeman behind him, only holding his suitcase. His, his bag. Okay, and he was walking alone. I said, is that how life can be that simple? Because I remember Ken Ofori-Atta, 3 vehicles will land in advance with security everywhere before he now comes out. And I asked myself, this is a paper. The billions you are coming to mention, they are not in the bag. So why this security?
It's a state asset.
Okay. State asset
Yes.
that drowned our economy. Is that the kind of people you call state assets? Look,
Until then,
me,
he was a state
Gerard,
asset.
I'm telling you that I think he has run out of the country. The Attorney General should start prosecuting him in absentia.
So yes,
That is
that
it.
has
So that
been the
whatever
argument all along.
So that whatever the conclusion is,
Yes.
his assets, if he's guilty and there's money to be paid back, he has assets in Ghana. We can confiscate them, sell, and take back our money. That is my opinion.
That is if he's found guilty.
That is, yes, I said that. I said if it is found guilty.
Right.
I mean, so we used to see finance ministers land with 3 vehicles, military, police, national security mixed. And then he'll be walking with one small bag, white. And you remember the Piccadilly story my MP gave? Those who want to steal us, they come in cassock. Those who want to steal us, they begin to quote the Bible. He will come every verse of every paragraph of his statement. There was a Bible verse. No, knowing that he was just stealing our money. Allegedly. Taking our money. Today, we say come back and face the law. The country that you said you wanted to be finance minister forever. Now you have run and you decided to be a fugitive in somebody's country.
Don't you think that our own reaction and maybe demeanor is what is
making him run away? Oh, but this is Ghana.
Find
home sweet home.
But if you if there is threat in your home, why would you need to find safety? That is why I agree with you that if trial can be commenced,
they should fast track
so that
it like
one,
we did
it
with
exonerates his name.
Yes,
it gives him exoneration if it's cleared.
That is it. So if it's not cleared and he has run away, and we think there's money he has chopped. His businesses are all over.
This other woman was tried in absentia.
Exactly. What's her name?
The only thing is that there are concerns. They don't know if she's really in the.
Oh no, but the Minister for Interior has given his clear assurances that those who are doubting should visit the prisons and see whether they will find her in one or not. Because whatever he says, nobody will believe. But you take your cameras to the prisons, you will definitely find her in one of the prisons. That is just all. But you see, I am saying that the finance minister is never stingy. And Peter is a finance person. He knows that there's a difference between releases and hitting your account. He knows.
You explained it.
Yes, he himself, he knows. Even with where he sits, you hear the government say they have released this money. It will take some time to hit your account. And even to pull it down, you have to now attach all the necessary documents before you can access it. It's as simple as that. So if the misunderstanding between the Agric and the finance minister had to do with releases and fiscal cash, I mean, it has been explained. And they are best of friends. They are good. They are working together. Gerald, just to talk about the releases, and this is why I say Peter and Co.
That's from which page?
Exactly. Oh, I think 82. Okay, that's just the concluding part. It says compensation to public sector workers, 48.8 billion. Okay, was paid. We are also talking about to honor our debt obligation, an amount of 21.5 billion for interest has also been paid. We are also talking about 700 million for Eurobond debt. That's dollars. So $700 million for the Eurobond debt service and interest has also been what? Paid. We are talking about 10 billion to handle domestic bondholders. This one too has also been what? Paid. We are talking about District Assembly Common Fund. 4.4 billion has been paid. We are talking about the National Health Insurance, where 4.5 billion has been released for a very long time. Have you heard service providers say they have not been paid? Yeah, for a very, very long time. We are all in Ghana. We are in Bolga. We know where the health centers are. Let any health center say, I am turning this person away because government owes me. In fact, they have been paid, their money is still sitting there, waiting for people to bring claims and they'll clear them. For the first time in Ghana, these are things that will grow the economy. Will keep the Ghanaian healthier to work and build the country. Health insurance paid 4.5 billion. We are talking about 1.1 billion. Mahama Cares has also been given to Mahama Care, and this is paid. We are talking of GetFi 4.2 billion. We are talking of 1.8 billion for free education program. We are talking about 1.7 billion for road maintenance, the road maintenance trust fund, what we used to call the road fund, okay, where it was used to maintain potholes and other things. Now, you know, we've changed the name with a different act. Now we call it the road maintenance trust fund. And this, they have gotten 1.7 billion. This has been paid to them. And we are also talking about 459 million Ghana cedis paid to the National Youth Employment Agency. Look, the workers there, have you heard them complain? First, we are owed 1 year, 6 months, 9 months, 3 months. Since Commander Malik Basintali became the CEO, they are getting their releases in time. We are also talking about 961 million, okay, that has been given to the National GMPC. We are talking about 458 million that has also been released to support mining activities. We are talking of good mining activities. And to keep the lights on, we are saying that we have paid 7.1 billion to the energy sector. We are talking of 5.3 billion paid as legacy arrears. Okay, I'm talking of government legacy arrears. That is projects that were done and that were being owed. I mean, previous contractors. And they are getting their monies. We are also talking about 76 million Ghana cedis paid as capitation grants.
Right.
We are talking about 485 million paid to LEAP beneficiaries. Gerard, LEAP, we are talking of people who cannot get 2 square meals a day.
So
now we are releasing the monies.
Let me remind our listeners that
yes,
this is in the document. You can just download
exactly and read it
from the website.
Yes, and you see, let anybody, Gerard,
81, 82,
let anybody come to dispute. This is not all. This is not all. The no fee stress, 537 million. We are talking of 104 million teacher trainee allowance. We are talking of 144 million nursing trainee allowances. I'm talking of monies paid. I'm talking of cash that has gone to them. These are not releases. So this is cash. We are talking of 93 million assembly members allowance.
Do they receive it?
The assembly members?
Yes.
If I leave here, call them.
That they receive it?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, lie. In fact, my assembly man, when he got it the first time, he called me for a beer. And he bought me a bottle of beer and said, oh, now, when they call him at night to carry somebody to the hospital, even though he doesn't work with National Ambulance Service, he can also put something small in his.
So it's monthly?
Yes, it's supposed to come monthly. But what they do is that they do it quarterly.
Okay.
So that they pay it and then it looks a bit weightier.
You know, all this releases and big money.
See,
I just admire the way you mentioned the money, and it's making. Does this reflect a lot on job creation, employment?
Look,
because there's so much money, prudent management of the economy, but unfortunately, there's little said about job creation and absorption of the youth.
Go to the National Health Insurance Authority. New staff or people who have been employed and they are working there alone constitute heads of the. Go and check. They are monitoring and evaluation officers. You know, they have to do a lot of work. They go around to monitor all the facilities. Okay, they have gotten a beef up. Their communication directorate, almost all the departments. Some lack drivers, they have been given employment. So when you see the releases, some goes into compensation, some goes into paying for the services their service providers have rendered. Some also goes into employment. Some, of course, goes into infrastructure. Because when you go to Bolga East, for instance, they are building a new office. And that is part of the money. Okay, Get Fund, the amount that was released, you saw it. Everywhere going on. And very soon we shall be doing a tour to have a look at all the projects we awarded. So we'll call on you, the journalists, to come with us. Some of the projects here, I mean, in Bolga City, I know one contractor who was building a teacher's bungalow. He said he's done, he's left with roofing. Yeah, he's done with superstructure. He's left with roofing. Some have done first decking, they are moving to the second one. I mean, those working on the story buildings, the masons, the artisans, they are all there working and getting their daily bread. You don't consider this as employment?
What just a question of concern with the haste with which these some of these contractors are putting up these structures. Is there quality check to ensure that
Get Fund engineers What the consultants,
Yes.
they went around not quite long to check. And every stage you are moving to, they have to come. That's one thing.
Because
So
I'm asking this because if there is so much haste and they have to go around to other
you
places
see
to
that
come,
that project
wouldn't
I
that
mentioned,
defeat?
that
Yes.
project I mentioned, of
Okay.
course, is one of the smallest.
Okay.
When I say small, I say I think 3-bedroom teachers bungalow with
Okay.
a boys' quarters. So if you are serious, the foundation, when that is done, the rest is super
Right.
structure building,
Right.
just putting blocks on it.
Mm.
Okay, so you can finish it within 2-3 months, which he did. And like I said, every stage you go, the consultant comes. So the quality of blocks they see. And funny enough, these days, nobody moves blocks. I mean, you don't have people doing hand molding.
Yeah, you
They
buy.
buy. Okay, and all these have been checked before. So that is why we're all complaining about the quarry materials. Whether you want quarry dust or quarry chippings, you can't get it because everybody is asking for it. Even Maroons. Maroons has refused to sell to the general public because his own projects needs more material than what his quarry is even produced. So when you go there, there are no animals who are working there. Sorry, they are human beings. And these people are paid monthly. And you say you are not providing employment? That is why employment moved from, I think, 13.4% to 12 point something.
12 point something.
Yes, it has reduced. We hope it will continue to reduce. Okay. And then you see, the education sector, I just explained. You heard the president recently spoke about the clearance they have given to the finance. The finance minister has given to the education minister to employ the teachers and the nurses. This will definitely come to pass. I've always said, when you take over as the landlord, assuming your father is alive and he's no more, you don't know the pressure, some of the things your father was doing behind the scenes to keep the family going. You will not know. Your duty is to come probably late in the night as a boy, pull your motor in, go and sleep. The next day you have food, you eat, you go. Even if you come back, the TZ you eat, you sleep. Now your father is no more. You get to understand what he was doing to keep the family united. And some of the things were not things that you saw with your eyes. You now have to learn it. Okay? When we took over, that 1 year period, we needed to use it to understand the inflows, how we could reset the system. And that is why the minister introduced the authorization system, the commitment authorization, so that nobody spends anyhow. He got to realize that even state institutions, like we just mentioned health insurance, like GRA, like GMPC, I mean, all the institutions you can think of, many of them overspent in the past. They were given a budget. They will overrun their budget. Finance minister said, no, you can't do that. You don't operate independently. When you overrun your budget, you come back to us and government has to absorb the difference. You are putting burden. So henceforth, before you do anything, come for commitment authorization, apart from compensation. For compensation, it is released. If you want to do this, you must find out from me whether I have money to pay before you go ahead. So like for instance, health insurance, they decided to build some offices. It was put in their budget. After compensation, it was given. Service provided, it was provided. Those things, government said, come and take clearance from me. So we want to build 10 offices to cost us 1 million. Government says, I have money to pay you. Go with a letter. Then you go and continue. When you finish, you are paid. Okay, that is what we studied about the previous economy, and we decided to reset it. And that is why we are on track. So anybody who says, and that page, like we said, you can continue to mention what he has paid. And that should tell you that he's not a stingy man, like Peter said. Dr. Tuforson is one. In fact, I have seen Minister Kwame Papra as finance minister. I have seen my uncle Moses Saga supporting some of them. I have seen Dr. Kwame Dufour as finance minister. In fact, I have seen President Kufuor's minister, the one who died. What was his name? He came shortly, and died. Okay. I have seen Mohammed Amin Adam. I have seen the man himself, the runaway man. Okay. We have seen Furiata and the rest. If you compare these people, okay, I tell you that Dr. Tuforson so far has proven that the PhD title he holds, he didn't earn it on a silver platter. No, he knows the job. And I appreciate him for that. I appreciate him for the financial prudence and discipline he has brought into the system. And look, he just mentioned that the World Bank, the IMF will be in within next month to do the final assessment. And they come and they go. They are cleared. We don't need IMF again. But what we want them to do is to come once in a while and give us technical. We don't need a kobo from them. They can't give us restriction. Don't employ this, don't do this. But of course, we need their guidance. It's like you being a teacher, but you had a teacher who you have a teacher who served as your model. Sometimes your speeches, sometimes your lecture notes, you are done with them, you want him to go through before you go ahead. It doesn't mean that you are weak, but you want to learn from him. You want to stay within the remit of the work. That is what Ato Forsen is going to do. And we must protect that young man. I see him have a bigger future than the position he currently occupies. Yes.
What future is bigger than the future of being a president of the country? So are you predicting or preempting?
That is one. And again, in their own area of profession, there are people who work beyond Ghana in the bigger institutions like the IMF, the World Bank, and then those areas. You know, when they see that you are good, they poach you and they take you to help them. Okay, we have bigger institutions that manages West Africa, the Europe, the whole world. So if it is in the area of his study, I believe he can, I have confidence that he'll grow beyond what he's doing now.
Right.
If it is also in the area of politics, why not? He's one fine guy. That's why I say NDC, the good thing is that we've always had so many competent people to choose from. And that is one of our problems. Yeah. We get confused. You don't know who to choose. Yeah. You have, those who have currently showed up, even though none of them has officially declared. If I bring a box here, you yourself, you get confused with their pictures, looking at their track record in politics. The national chairman, you know what he has done, his track record in the political landscape. You look at, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, you know him. Wherever he goes, go and look at his footprints in every ministry. For him, he's a transformer. Wherever he goes, he transforms the place. When he came in as first, I think he was made Minister for Communications. It is through his effort that you have all these regional communication structures across the country. He continued from where John Mahama left, President Mahama left those days as communication minister, and he completely liberalized the communication industry. He has his footprints. When he went to trade, he left a mark.
Yeah,
when he went to labor, it was that time that some of us were still with youth employment. He changed the youth employment program to the Youth Employment Agency, brought an act to Parliament, passed in no time, structured it very well, defined its source of funding, and youth employment is on its feet. It has no problem. Transformer. Okay, if you look at where he is now in the educational sector, 300 million. He came to study the education ministry and he says, look, I have to close this gap back before I leave. When the double track is taken out, the credit will go to him, it will go to President Mahama, it will go to the NDC. If you look at the other contestants, Honorable Julius Debra, another fine gentleman, from the party roots to governance. You know, if you have a very strong chief of staff, you the president, you can decide to be a tourist president. You be touring, enjoying yourself. Because the back is strong and well protected. And that has been the role of Julius Debra, Honorable. So I want to say that in the NDC, we always have materials in excess. The human resource.
Professor Jane's name is
Professor Jane and all that. We get confused. In fact, when these people are to contest, obviously, many people will get confused. I will definitely choose one.
Talking about contest, I have seen flyers of constituency people aspiring for constituencies, and I know the NDC's organization is also taking place. And then, so how is everything okay?
Yes. Everything is fine. We are still doing the branches. In fact, we are supposed to conclude the branch. Today is our 24th.
Yes.
Deadline they give to us to conclude all branch elections today.
Okay.
So, granted, we even give this final. I believe from next week, the positions that will be for constituency will be. And That will be done in October. It will be out. And then well, after this, we have to take time and prepare the albums very, very well. That in itself takes a process.
Before the
Then we'll go to the
constituency elections. But we've started seeing flyers of people.
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong if you are. They say a
intentions.
declaration of intent. They are telling you what they are interested in. There's nothing wrong. I mean, it's accepted. So they are only some say retain, some say I'm coming, some say I'm doing this. So we'll go past all those stages. We're giving ourselves up to the end of this year to finish with party reorganization from branch to national. When we are done with national, then following year, we are in government. Our constitution says 1 year to the election year, we must have parliamentary and presidential. So NEC will decide when to have presidential. What I believe in is that for 2028,
and that's going to be another heckle for the NDC. It's going to be a trial moment for the NDC.
Because we are changing a new phase.
There's a new
one
phase
thing
that's
that
going to
one
come.
thing that will make our work easier for us is our performance as a Gerard. If you put you Gerard,
but electing
the
someone
name is
to
what
lead
Awomba
Dick.
Awomba Dick. If we put Gerard Awomba Dick as our parliamentary presidential candidate, with the track record, with these goodies we are delivering, we don't have a problem to floor Bamia like never before.
But the regional, are you considering anything?
We'll definitely be there. Yeah.
I'm
already
a change or retain.
You should have been asking whether I'm going to national.
So I'm asking, is it retain or
it could be any.
Or you want to advance to the national level?
No, for national, no, not this time.
This time.
Yes. But we have some few brothers of ours who have declared to go. Lambon like this.
Oh, okay.
You says he wants to go. He's one great guy, We'll continue to serve. You see, one thing about party service is a calling. And you must know that you are going there to serve. You are not going there to rule the people. That's one thing. So don't make yourself gagai. You see, they are calling you, are not picking, you are this, you are... No. You have to be accessible. You are begging them to allow you serve them. You are not going to be their boss. No. If you have that mentality, the party will not go.
A leader must always have a servant's mentality.
Exactly. And one thing is that this whole thing we are doing, Gerard, we are looking for, like you said, 2028, the party is going to produce a fresh candidate. President Mahama himself, even though there are people in court for an interpretation, but the man himself makes it clear that, hey, let me go and rest. I want to do my 1 term more, to the other term I go. He's building his farms. You've seen them, right? The one that he has about 2. Very large one, big ones. I only see those farms on TV. This is the first time I'm seeing. You haven't seen the one?
I've not.
That after UDS going to Yape. Oh, when you go small on your left, I'm talking of the UDS campus, the Tamale one.
Oh, really?
They are going to Accra or
yes,
just on your left. Big one. Fence with the wind pumps. Oh, I see those things. This is the first time I'm seeing things like that for real. Maybe because I have not had the opportunity of roaming. But the man says, I want to finish, rest, concentrate on my farm. So where I sit, until the court says otherwise, and until he changes his mind.
But he has reaffirmed it.
Yes,
on
I know he is
platforms
not contesting. And because of that, of course, the party is going to present a new candidate. The good thing is that Bamia is not marketable as we speak.
Really?
Yeah. Gerard, is he behaving like an opposition leader? He has been elected for almost a year.
How do you want him?
The man doesn't have anything to say. One, he can't organize lectures. That used to be one of his strategies. He can't organize lectures. In fact, we have been begging him. The last time we were planning to rent for him an auditorium to organize a lecture. He has been running away.
Abdullah.
Gerard, he can't organize lectures because he has nothing to say.
Abdullah, our time is up.
That is fine. That's number 1. Number 2, Bawumia doesn't know what to say about this government. Even what you do new. We are already doing it. What do you do new? We are doing it. So he is bereft of ideas. So he's not behaving like an opposition leader. That will help us. All the same, our track record Gerard, you see the complaint Peter was giving. Oh, we still have goodwill with the people. The goodwill will continue even after 2028 because we are delivering. And with all this, of course, Gerard, we need experienced hands.
Very
We
important.
need experienced hands to manage the party and manage future elections. So when the time comes, we will cross. Whichever way it is, it will be. But I want to say that for this media budget, Peter said something that I forgot. He said we are doing cut and paste.
Yes,
He
that
said
he
he
did
buy
cut and
400
paste.
million to buy
Yes.
buses, and where we get. You see,
Mm.
the thing is simple. What is cut and paste here? All the money belongs to government of Ghana, right? So let's say A1 Radio had budgeted 1 billion for your annual operations. Maybe 200,000 of it is supposed to go into buying computers, another one microphones, another one carpet, 2-3 ACs, and the rest will go into compensation. You realize that your ACs are good, but probably you need to add some 2 microphones. And you decide to use the money that you have used to buy the ACs, which are still good, to buy the 2 microphones. What have you done? You haven't committed any crime. You are just reassigning the money. And that is permitted.
Right.
I know Peter and Co will have it.
Abdullah, wrap up the
here.
conversation for us.
I know they'll find it difficult
To market.
their candidates and all that. And there are some constituencies that I foresee will not even have candidates in Bolga.
Oh, really?
I mean, in Upper East, not
Why?
only in Bolga.
Why?
They don't have candidates.
Why don't they have candidates?
Who?
Bolgatanga Central.
Bolga East.
Because the time is not in, you may not know.
Who? Your place. Your place.
You may not say, but someone would come. Once there is a candidate, they have someone.
Gerard, there are so many places.
Thank you very much, Abdullah.
Look, I can mention constituency. They won't bother. If you see candidates coming up, then they are there to get their capo. They won't make any mark. You know, some people contest to raise money for themselves, not to win elections.
Okay.
So they know, we don't want to leave it fallow.
Then that person is an entrepreneur.
Oh, yeah, they are there. Political entrepreneurs. They know the guy will not even get 2%. But they say, you come. And the guy too knows he won't win. He won't even get 5%. So what he is there to do is, when they say, collect this and support yourself, Sava.
Abdullah Jonathan Salifu, thank you so much for your time with us this morning. This has been A1 Radio Station After East. My name is Jared Asagi, and I've been anchoring the program from morning till now. Thanks so much to the production team led by Moses Abapia with visual support from our new visual expert, Mary. We just want to wish you a very good Friday. Enjoy the rest of the day until we come your way again on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend.